Brought to you by Get Well Yoga. Get back to doing what you love.
Let's start with a movement for the upper back, neck and shoulders today. So I invite you to interlace the fingers back behind the tailbone. Draw the shoulder blades back and down. Spread the toes wide, elevate the toes for a moment, and place the wide spread toes back down to earth. Inhaling a nourishing breath through the tip of the nose. Exhaling all the way out through the crown of the head and down through the eyes of the soles of the feet, connected to the earth. Soften face, soften jaw, and begin to roll the head back. So chin comes to chest and slowly roll the head back. And we're just going to do one side at a time and then roll the head forward very slowly. Introducing the breath, inhaling as we come back. Exhaling as we roll forward. And we'll do 5 movements, 5 breaths on both sides. One side at a time. Chin comes towards chest. Last one. Inhaling, opening up the chin and perhaps a slight back bend. Perhaps taking the hands away from the tailbone and lengthening out through the crown of the head, down through the feet again, into the earth. Rolling the head slowly back to the midline and across to the other side. Chin comes towards shoulder and then rolls back. Rolling forward. Inhaling as we roll the head back. Notice what's happening with the opposite shoulder, with chin to shoulder, the opposite shoulder. See if that's shrugging up to the ear. See if you can release the opposite shoulder down to the earth. 2 more breaths. Inhaling, rolling the chin towards shoulder and then back. Last one. And on this last one, just hold for a moment and extend out through the crown of the head, perhaps taking the hands slightly away from the tailbone as you extend out through the crown of the head and down through the soles of the feet. Slowly taking chin back to the midline, rolling back through. Wonderful. And just release the hands. As we shake the hands loose, we're relaxed from toes up through the legs, through the torso, out through the crown of the head. We're just moving the entire body, maybe even from side to side, shaking, creating some energy in the body. Then the hands come up and the palms face up to about shoulder height. There's a slight bend in the elbow as we relax through the knees and elbow joint. Shoulders are relaxed. Then place the palms down, facing down, continuing to shake lightly. Relaxing from head to toe. Then placing the hands up above us. Deep bend at the elbow and just relax, loose wrists, loose fingers. Looks really goofy, but it's going to feel great as we turn to one side. And then take the arms back down, shoulder height, palms face down. Palms face up. Palms come back down alongside the body. And just for a moment, slowing it down, really slowing it down. So just the hands are moving And then closing the eyes, just coming into stillness for a moment. Just notice the energy pulsing through the body. Great time to set an intention for your evening back in California or in the States. Great time to set an intention for your day here in Australia. As we slowly begin to move the shoulders, swimming, so you're doing the backstroke. But see if you can bring the whole hip and torso with you, so getting a nice full body flow, which is one of the things we're working on today, a full body flow, as well as coming aware of our breath and moving with our breath. Any time that we can really focus on our breath with movement, we'll avoid injury. Just breathing politely, quietly in and out of the nose, hip and shoulders rotating forward and back. In the opposite direction a few times. Again, see if you can bring the entire hip along with the arm. As we move with the flow, see if you can keep two hands in motion today. So we're going to break this next pose down quite slowly as we take a nice wide stance. We take the hand down the midline very slowly, palm faces us down, and the other hand comes out to about shoulder height, and we're looking atop of the middle finger. Then the hand glides down through the midline as we transition the weight to the other side. And this hand is fairly close in to the chest here. So it glides down, releasing trapped and stagnant energy out through the eye of the palm. Inhaling. Exhaling as we release trapped and stagnant energy. In martial arts, we'd consider this a block down through the midline. We'd consider this a haitu or a chop. But we break this down into very slow, mindful movements, and we can now bring the entire weight of the body as we transition the weight through the leading hand or towards the leading hand. See if you can get a flow now going where we begin to move the entire body in this wave-like motion. Bringing the spine, involving the articulation of all 24 vertebrae of the spine. Just doing the best with what you have. If you get lost, just come back to that one hand coming down through the midline perhaps, or the one hand coming up to shoulder height. You can do it slow or fast. You can do it nice and low as well and slowly come up. Wherever you are today, slowly coming the hands rising up to the heavens, down through the midline. So we come into spinal cord breathing. I invite you to take the arms to cactus or goalpost position, fingers relaxed, wrists nice and loose. And we have a nice back bend here, just a slight back bend. And we take a firm fist and the forearms come together, chin comes into chest, into a squat. Inhaling into that back bend, nourishing breath through the tip of the nose, perhaps taking the toes wide, spreading the toes wide, elevating the toes. Exhaling, forearms come together, fists come together, chin towards chest. Perhaps the heels rise. Option to raise the heels if you want to challenge yourself and come into a more strengthening practice. Again, I applaud you for knowing where you are in your changing field of circumstance. And that might be just staying up here today. and not going so deep in the crouch. Perhaps you're coming up on your heels as you exhale, chin towards chest. Forearms touch, fists touch. As we, on the next movement, coming down through the midline, just hold for a moment. And then open up, turning to the side as we spread the fingers wide. Exhaling. The lungs are the commander of chi, so I invite you to inhale and breathe into the front of the chest. Exhale, breathe into the back of the body. The yang side of the body, our male energy. Inhaling in the front body. Exhaling into the back body. Two more breaths. So we coordinate our movement with breath. Wonderful. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture, releasing that last movement. As both hands come to about shoulder height now, they extend slightly forward, and one arm glides back behind us as we include the hip now, and then both hands come up about shoulder height, exhaling very slowly down towards the earth. The opposite hand now glides up and back as we begin to look back at the hand, and the hip, of course, is traveling along with the arm, exhaling slowly back down, painting the rainbow. Inhaling, gliding the arm and head back, looking at the hand that's going back. Exhaling, inhaling as we take the arm back. Exhaling as we slow down, begin to lengthen, deepen, and slow down the breath. Last one. Bringing the hip making two firm fists as we take a nice wide stance, bending at the knees, two firm fists at the hip, and the fists are facing up. So yang energy, a male energy, something for empowerment. So this can really give you a nice sense of energy and strength and empowerment. This movement is a Shaolin punch as we take that arm across the body and then release the fist and gather a ball of energy, drawing that fist back into the hip or body, and the fist returns palm facing up at the hip, other side, as we glide that fist out and then release into taking a ball of energy and gathering that energy into the body. Inhaling as we extend, exhaling as we gather. There's no hurry. Two more breaths. Shaolin punch. But we've added a lateral motion to the Shaolin punch. So we really want to exercise and move the lateral side of the body. We tend to be, in our culture, stuck at 90 degrees, moving forward or back when we walk, right? We're rarely walking from side to side. So this way we can really begin to articulate all 6 directions of the spine as we begin to reach above us, picking cherries, this is called. So we're gathering and picking cherries. This is a nice way to release compression in the spine. If you've been seated a lot, this is a wonderful way in which we can enliven the spine, perhaps even decompress the spine. Again, we've got this nice lateral motion. If you're seated in a chair, you're at 90 degrees. If we're driving, we're at 90 degrees. You even go to the gym, or when the gyms are back open, and you'll see most people are just moving back and forth, very few lateral motions. So we need to move laterally. The body is designed to move laterally. And we've lost our monkey muscles, these mid-back muscles, the rhomboid muscles, the upper trapezius. We're no longer picking fruit anymore, as we used to do, of reaching up above us. So we need to keep those muscles in the mid-back employed and engaged and strengthened to help the spine return to its natural position, one of extension. Great for the posture. So think about lengthening through the foot into the earth as you extend up. And slowly coming back down. Both hands come once more up, slowly back down through the midline. About an inch apart as they glide through on the exhale. Let's try that one more time. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing. As we take the back of the hand to the kidney in the back body, we'll come to an exercise for kidney cleansing as we take the back of the hand right in front of the eyes and then slowly exhaling, gathering. Inhaling as we take the hand across the Ming Tong, that space just above the eyes at the forehead. And we're looking at the back of the hand and exhaling. The kidneys are the water element. The kidneys are constantly titrating, constantly filtering. We want to nourish and keep the kidneys active. Thank the kidneys for all the work they do. As we move with grace now, see if you can move with 2 hands. So one hand comes to the lower back as the other one glides as we move to the other side. And you can imagine that you're gathering water from a fjord or a small creek or a stream or any body of water. Exhaling deeply as we come down. Inhaling, growing tall. 2 more breaths. Wonderful. Both hands come up in a clearing gesture once more, releasing that last movement. This time, place the fingers facing back behind us. And as they come down to head height, place the fingers forward and raise the heels, exhaling, slowly lowering the hands down. Let's try that movement one more time. It's a very nice moving meditation. As we inhale, hands face back, or the fingers point back behind us as they slowly descend through thick air. Fingers then place forward, and then inhale coming off the heels, exhaling, slowly lowering the heels with the hands and arms. Wonderful. As we come into moving crane, moving tree, if you like, in yoga would be in Vrksasana, and we'd be coming into tree pose. Or in this case, we're going to continue to move. So as we take the arms up, the foot comes to, perhaps it's to the calf today, perhaps it's up lightly at the knee joint. We're not pressing into the knee joint, it's just resting. Or perhaps we keep the foot on the earth for balance, wherever you are today. Inhaling, opposite leg comes up, hands come back down through the midline. Find a single point of focus, perhaps at the horizon. Find that drishti, that single point of focus, steady mind, steady body. Last one. Perhaps you're holding. Relax the shoulders even though the arms are extended up. Perhaps taking the arms apart and lengthening out through the crown of the head, down through the foot. We want to do that on the other side just for symmetry and balance. Inhaling, finding that point of focus, perhaps lightly resting the foot even on the earth. That's fine too. It's a fine pose. And then extending the arms slightly apart. Notice if there's any gripping in the toes. Relax the toes. And relax the shoulders away from the ears. Wonderful. Releasing that movement. Relaxing the hips as you roll through the hips, lower back. Circling the hips in one direction and then the opposite direction. Inhaling, both hands come up in a clearing gesture. Fingers point back behind us as the hands lower, fingers face forward. Inhaling, heels raise. Exhaling very slowly through thick air. One more time. Fingers point back and point forward as you slowly lower the heels and arms back down to earth. Perhaps closing the eyes for a moment as the arms lower. Come back into your intention, the essence, the seed of your practice. We'll end with a nice clearing gesture, coming back to emphasizing the breath. Inhaling, both palms face up, coming up through the midline, about an inch or two apart. Exhaling, slowly lowering the hands down towards the earth. Now, let's see if we can double the length of the exhale. So inhaling perhaps for 4, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whatever your count is, see if you can double the inhale. Perhaps it's just to 3. And you're exhaling for 6 then. Perhaps you're inhaling for 6 and exhaling for 12. See if you can double the length of the exhale. Two more breaths. Perhaps closing your eyes on this last one as you slowly lengthen the exhale. As we hand it over to Meadow Doso. Thanks, Meadow. Here's the microphone.
While we're doing the microphone, you might need a blanket or a pillow just for a prop towards the end of the practice. I just wanted to let you guys know. Okay, thanks, John. Wonderful practice, good movement. We're going to start with the practice from the 8 brocades. The 8 brocades is an 800-year-old practice. It's basically a Qigong practice, very popular in China. And it's called the triple burner heater. So let's interlace our fingers, your palms face up. Bring your hands to the heavens, and then rotate your palms and raise them to the heavens as you lift your heels up. And let's bring our arms slowly back down to the earth. We'll do about 5 more movements. Interlace your fingers, palms up. Rotate your palms up to the sky. Lift your heels up. And sweep your arms out to the side. The triple burner is basically your internal heater. And it's used in Chinese medicine to help with your balance, your thermostat. Just imagine yourself in a 3-story building, trying to keep the temperature controlled between the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd floors. Two more. Palms up, across your chest. Rotate your palms up. Lift your heels. Sweep your arms out to the side. One more. This is also good for the shoulders. Help reduce any stiffness. Again, our goal today is flow. From here, we're going to transition into another 8 brocade form, and it's called bending over, wagging tail, heart fire. So let's bring our feet about a little bit past hip distance apart. Your feet are facing forward. Bend your knees slightly. Your hips draw back. Let's shift our weight over to one side, so to my left. As you bring your torso forward, head forward, and shift your weight to the right. And let's lift back up. Let's come back down. Torso, heart forward as we shift our weight to the left and lift back up. Come back down to the left, shifting forward, shift our weight. Now this form, the heart fire, is supposed to work with kindness and harmony and ease. This would be harmony and ease and kindness, not just for yourself or to yourself, but to others. Let's do one more on each side. Be mindful of your knees. Just a slight bend in your knees. And let's come back to center. From here, let's transition and clear. Once more. We're going to transition now into an animal frolic. It's called the rooster stands on one leg. So place your left toe in front of you, shift your weight to the back foot, and raise your left foot and your left arm both to a 90-degree angle, and come back down. The rooster stands on one leg. If you'd like to challenge yourself, try and move very slowly and mindfully. Also, if you choose to, you can raise your leg high up to the sky, or point your toes. That's what I love about Qigong, is the movements are slow and very meditative. Again, a one-pointed focus, helping you build concentration and a really good mindfulness practice. Two more. Let's clear. And place our hand on our lower dantian. For women, it's left hand over your right. We've just cultivated energy. And let's see if we can just maintain the energy. This is our energy center. Focus on your breath. And just notice how you feel. We're now going to move into a yoga pose. It's an adaptation of chair pose, or it's called Utkatasana. So I invite you to bring your feet about hip distance apart. I'm actually going to move over to the side so you can see. Lift your toes and then just relax all 10 toes back to the earth. Now bend your knees slightly. Just a soft bend of the knees. Bring your inner thighs back, so you're doing an inner rotation of your thighs. Your tailbone lifts, and see if you could just bring your tailbone down to the earth. Your back lengthens. Try to keep your knees so that they're not over your toes, so you can actually see your toes when you look down. Now let's bring our hands to our chest, hands to your heart. Let's circle our arms out and wide. Let's come to the sky. Your palms are together. Look up at your palms. And exhale. Bring both hands over to a T position. Inhale, bring both arms back. Exhale, bring both arms to a T. Inhale, both arms come back. Exhale, arms are at an A position. And palms back. Now let's bend our knees and come back into chair pose. Inhale, sweep our arms out and up, palms together, look up to the sky. Exhale, palms to a Y position. Inhale, both arms come back. Exhale, bring your palms down to a T. Inhale, arms come back. Exhale, both arms are to a position, an A position. Palms come back. Now let's come back to Utkatasana, chair pose. Palms to your heart. Once more, sweep your arms out and up. Look over at your palms. Exhale. Inhale back. Exhale. Inhale back. Exhale down. Inhale back. Now let's bring our palms together, hands to your heart, back to Utkatasana. Now let's come back to center. Our next transition and our next pose will be an adaptation of a yoga pose, Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. And it's an adaptation of Warrior Two and also Eagle Arms. So let's bring our feet wider than our hips. Option to keep your stance as wide as you can, but it's a little bit more of a challenge to do your Eagle Arms. So John will actually demonstrate a less of a wider stance. Now let's take our left leg, our left foot, and bring it to a 90-degree angle. Your back foot comes in slightly. Raise your arms out to the side. Bend your knees, or bend your front knee. Your knee is lined up with your ankle. See if you can take the left knee so it tracks to your second toe, and your outer hip externally rotates, so it's externally rotating to the back. Your back leg is nice, your heel is nice and anchored to the ground. And let's take an inhale and an exhale here. Now let's bring our right arm and bring it to a 90-degree position. Let's wrap the left arm under the right and sweep our arms back out to Virabhadrasana 2 and come back to center. Now let's take the right foot out to a 90-degree. Bring the back foot in by about an inch or two. Externally rotate your right hip as your knee bends to a 90-degree angle, tracking your knee to your ankle. Bring your arms wide, float the arms wide. On your next in-breath, let's take the left hand and bring it in front of us. Wrap the right arm under and exhale, release. And let's come back to center. Let's do this with a little bit more movement. Sweep your arms out and wide. Wrap the left arm under. Exhale and come back to center. Wrap the right arm under. Again, Warrior Two is fantastic for your knees, your hips, along with Eagle Arms, which stretches the back of your body. Your scapula opens up. We're going to make our way now to the floor. So if you have a blanket or a pillow, we're going to come into cat-cow. So if you, I welcome you just to grab a blanket just to protect your knees. We're going to come into all fours. Again, you're lining up your wrists with your shoulders and your knees with your hips. Inhale. Let's bring our heart forward. Exhale, round your back. Your upper, mid, and lower back. Chin tucks in slightly. Inhale. And exhale, round the back. Tuck your tailbone down to the earth. Inhale, heart moves forward, chest moves forward. Relax your neck. And exhale. Let's round the spine. Once more. Really good posture for your lower back. From here, we'll transition into a seated posture. It's called Dandasana, or staff pose. So I invite you to bring both legs in front of you. And flex your feet. We're just adjusting the...
Sorry if we lost you there for a second. We lost you, but we're back, hopefully.
Flex your feet. Bring both arms behind you. Your fingers are facing forward. See if you can just bring the shoulder blades, relax them back. Lift up from the crown of your head. Feel the lengthening of your spine. Let's take a couple of breaths. Now let's relax our arms and take our left leg and bend it. And then take it over the right leg. Your right leg is still, your foot's still flexed. Now lift your right arm as we wrap it over your left bent leg, right in front of the shin. Inhale and let's twist over. Let's take our left arm and bring it back. Inhale and then let's twist over to the left. Opening up the front body, the shoulders, your hips, your spine lengthens, lubricating the spine. Inhale, and if you have a little bit more twist in you, let's just move back over to your left. Moving your head over, look over to your left shoulder. and unwind. Now let's bend the right leg, bring that over your left leg. Take your right arm and place it behind you. Lift your left arm and wrap that over your right leg so it's right where the shin is. Inhale, and let's twist over to your right. Relaxing the shoulders. Let's twist a little bit more if you have that in you. If not, it's okay to rest where you are. See if you can look over your right shoulder. And exhale. Let's untwist and come back to center. From here, I invite you now to just come into a comfortable position as we end with a short meditation, a self-inquiry practice. It's a practice from the protocol, the IRIS protocol. The IRIS protocol, or the IRIS meditation, is an Indian meditation practice developed many years ago, and this is it's a modern adaptation of Yoga Nidra. I invite you to close your eyes, or with a soft gaze, as we practice engaging feelings and welcoming our feelings and emotions. Feelings and emotions are messengers that deliver information to oneself, allowing us to take action. Welcome the environment around you. Feel the air as it touches your skin. Feel any sensation that's calling your attention. The physical sensation of the surface that's supporting you. Can you notice and feel the mood of your body? What emotions are drawing your attention right now? Or what emotion is drawing your attention right now? Where do you feel this in your body? Can we drop the label and just notice where we feel this in our body? Can we feel this emotion and visualize a door as your emotion walks into the door? And imagine it's sitting right in front of you safely. Can you notice its shape or its size? Is it a person or an animal? What does it look like? Can you be with this emotion? Perhaps I invite you to ask it a question or two or three. What do you want? What do you need? What action are you asking me to take in my life? Feel free anytime to bring in an inner resource to help ground you, a feeling of well-being, a feeling of safety. Again, engaging emotions or feelings. Emotions are messengers trying to deliver information to us, allowing us to take some kind of attention in our life. Let's rest for a minute or so in silence as we reflect on this body-mind experience. Feeling a sense of well-being. Sealing this meditation with the sound of the bells. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Hope you have a good weekend, good rest of the day and evening, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone.